by the Lecturers Association at the Newcastle College of Advanced Education, members of the Public Support from the Australian Teachers Federation, the Federation of...
Here, but I haven't the time, but they're there if anyone wants them. The Statistics
Association at the Newcastle College of Advanced Education. Concerned about what is happening to education in this country, and particularly in this region.
Be reminded that they have a great debt.
Those against? Motion is carried.
Well, I think it was a very necessary meeting, Tim. It's hard to judge how much can be achieved from such a meeting, but it's a unique occasion, and I hope the message will get through to Canberra.
But will it get through, though?
We'll do all we can to get it through, and as you heard, some of the speakers asked people to take individual action. I think it adds up to a very large effect if a lot of people take an action.
We met representatives from Maris Brothers in Sydney. They came up last night and attended the board meeting. We had a very open discussion on Maris Park, and the Newcastle Rugby League is still very interested in the venture.
Graham, there's some great facilities out there. There's a leagues a licence club out there that's unused at the moment. There's change facilities and booth facilities like canteen facilities, plus of course the acres of playing fields out there. It would be a real feather in league's cap if they could get hold of that area.
We believe that it has got a tremendous amount of potential with the parking facilities. As you mentioned, the club, there's a lot of course to go into, but the Rugby League is convinced that we should go to every limit to try and make sure that Rugby League does get involved in Maris Park.
What are the odds of league eventually getting out there, would you think, at this stage? I know it's early birds.
I believe the odds are very good. I believe if the Rugby League let this opportunity go, I'd say it could be the last for them to own their own ground, and this is what we're looking at mainly: a sporting complex there, a stadium that'll seat probably eventually 25 or 30,000 people to see top rugby league.
Are we looking a little bit towards one day when that question of should we join Sydney Rugby League raises its head again?
Well, that question has always been here for the last couple of years. It will persist, and probably one day Newcastle could be in the Sydney competition. If this happens, of course, we've got to have the facilities for the patrons to go along in large numbers, which we'd want probably 15 to 20,000 people at a game, and we believe that the Maris Park complex has all these facilities.
Well, if they go ahead with the amendment that I intend to move regarding this matter, it'll give us the opportunity to make a positive approach to getting something done for a permanent base for the helicopter service.
We've looked at 4 alternatives today. Why haven't these been considered before?
I don't know. I think we need to adopt the attitude that we must find a base for this very important service, and to date I think people have just been playing with the problem rather than approaching it with the idea that we must find a base. There is one around this area, let's find it and get on with the job.
And there are 3 other volumes that haven't yet emerged from the printer. The report was commissioned by the federal government in November 1980, when Australian film producer Pat, noted particularly for her work, Take Our Task. We were very generously. Why do we? On the whole, the ABC is doing a good regional job in radio. When we turn to television, however, and there's no need to tell this audience, I'm sure it is well aware of the fact, Newcastle gets an extraordinarily bad deal out of the ABC. And it's not just Newcastle, it is the whole tunnel that goes up, including the Hunter River, in the Hunter Valley, including Armidale and Tamworth. That area, which would comprise, 1.5 million people or more, it doesn't even produce 5 minutes of television programming each day. The 5 minutes of news for that region, and what a huge region it is, actually has to originate in Sydney because there are no facilities, technical facilities, available in Newcastle or anywhere else in the region to put material to air.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Since I last spoke with you, a great deal has happened in the Muswellbrook Shire, but this evening I only intend to mention 3 of those things rather briefly. The first one, of course, the completion of our new $1 million works depot, which will greatly enhance the ability of our workforce to service the residents of the Shire. A first for the area in August should see the completion and operation of our new social plan. This plan will enable us better to fulfil the community needs in a logical and economical way that will suit our residents. The third one, of course, we're all looking forward to it, has been the appointment of project managers for our new administration centre. They're already starting on the feasibility study and looking at what we can do with our old buildings to help the community. But let's turn to a much more interesting note. What are you planning to do on the October long weekend? Have you started to make your plans so that you can really enjoy the break that's coming up? I'd suggest you think about coming to the Upper Hunter, the 9th annual wine festival. It's more than just a wine festival. I know there are 8 participating wineries. I know there's Butte wine for tasting, the jazz band, the traditional family entertainment. It's all there as it has been. The barbecues or bring your own. But this year we've got some additional things. The Denman Olympics is something quite new. The Red Devils are really going to turn it on out there. There will be an Ironman event with a $1,000 prize. There'll be a fun run with a $1,000 prize. So come along and try your hand at that. There'll be steam trains and buses to take you around. At Scone, there'll be an air pageant. And hopefully we'll see some of the best restored World War II planes available for display and viewing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot happening this year over the September-October long weekend. The 28th of September to the 1st of October, it's all going to be happening up here. Don't leave it till the end and be disappointed because you can't get accommodation or you can't get in. Start making your plans now for a marvellous weekend that you'll long remember here in the Upper Hunter.
when a wind came up. Don't go anywhere now. With the wind.
The early morning calm of Barton Street was broken when this house at number 15 burst into flame. The two men who were inside were in their bedrooms, apparently asleep. It was John Peffer, whose bedroom window faces the house, who raised the alarm.
It woke me up, and I just looked out the window and I could see that the house was ablaze. I'm having a guess and saying that this would be just about 5 o'clock. I raced out and rang the fire brigade. I told them that there was at least one person inside the house, possibly two. I rushed out the front here and the house just virtually exploded in flames.
Did you make any effort to get the people out of the house?
Yes, well, a neighbour just across the road here, and myself, we knew that the old fellow slept just inside the front room, so I kicked the door in, but the smoke was just too heavy and the heat was just too intense, so we couldn't get in at all. It was just suicidal.
Brigades from Newcastle headquarters, Waratah and Tighes Hill were on the scene within minutes. The firemen had to don breathing apparatus to enter the house. They found the old man in the front room, and although they used a resuscitator on him for more than 10 minutes, their efforts failed. The firemen could not reach the back room because the flames and smoke were so intense. The younger man's body was found in the middle of the room where the fire started, his body charred beyond recognition. So far, fire officials have not ascertained the cause of this tragic fire.
Well, this time will be my third term, and it was very difficult to achieve anything because we didn't have the majority last time. But this time, I will be the Lord Mayor in my own right, and I've taken a policy to the people of Newcastle, and that policy has been accepted. I feel that I've been given a mandate by the people for that policies, or for those policies, and I think they were good policies. They must have been to get such a tremendous landslide. So I don't feel that I'm vulnerable as majority or minority. I don't feel that I'm as vulnerable this time, and there'll be a no-nonsense council this time.
Not entirely on political lines, I don't think, in local government, because I think that this area is being used, or this theme is being used by people at the moment to gain office by stealth into local government positions.
There was a promise before the election took place that if you were elected Mayor of Lake Macquarie and Alderman Cummings elected Lord Mayor of Newcastle, you'd combine to sort out problems, both being Labor people. What's going to happen now then?
Well, provided that the final results are my way, that still stands, and I mean that this is very, very important that the conferences and so forth that we've pointed out are carried out.
What sort of problems will we be looking at?
Well, we'll be looking at transport, we'll be looking at waste disposal, we'll be looking at just about every facet of local government, I can assure you.
It's not coloured.
PA and all that set over there, so we can go over there, and then we'll just come here and undo the mooring line. Into a bit. Oh, bless the Lord, those who are his sponsors. Be one way of showing compassion and help to the sick of all. Yes.
President Earl and your fellow Lions, I do wish you well as you set off on this Project Sea Lion, which somebody told me perhaps may have been more apt to be named Operation Mowbray 6. All the best, fellows. Thanks very much.